Estás viendo Canal América, televisión dominicana para el mundo.
A Time for Truth show is sponsored by the Office of Dr. Bernard Fialkoff, a periodontal, dental implant and laser specialist in New York City, for over 40 years. Dr. Fialkoff was honored by the International College of Dentists and Pierre Fauchard, and received the Presidential Lifetime Humanitarian Honor from the White House. Call us at 718-229-3838.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your fears.
Welcome to a Time for Truth show, all the way from Tegucigalpa, the capital of Honduras. And we have something that's historic, that's going to change a lot of things. And we're here with very important leaders. One is to my right, the president of the Honduran College of Dentistry, Dr. Marcos Garay. To my left, another very important figure in Honduras, also a dental practitioner, the founder of a tremendous international climate change group that he'll introduce to you, Dr. Mario Pinel, who also is an executive of the Honduran College of Dentists.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, doctor.
And to his left, someone who doesn't stop. You think the clock has 24 hours, but if you're a Globetrotter and you're retired, you're bored, you need to work 28 hours. So we have Robert Z. Hunter, who played with Will Chamberlain, Meadowlark Lemon, Curly Neal, and so now he's helping the world, because otherwise it's a little bit boring.
I have a few cavities, so I'm here.
But you play tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to play tomorrow. Yeah, and I got somebody to check you.
How is it seized?
I just think this Zorro.
Zorro?
That means help.
Yeah.
Welcome to Honduras, my friend.
Gracias. I've been here 10 years, and before that I wasn't here. I was here 20 years ago.
And 55 years in Miami.
Oh, you see. Right. Yeah, 55 years ago I was on the island.
Okay.
There was a few firecrackers during that time.
Welcome again.
Okay.
Welcome back. So we're here.
Okay, thank you. Gracias.
And you know what? So we're going to first start with Dr. Marcos. Dr. Marcos Garay. Marcos, first of all, welcome.
Welcome to Honduras, Ben. Gracias por estar en Honduras y es un placer tenerte aquí. Vamos a hacer realidad nuestro proyecto.
And for those of you who don't speak Spanish, he's saying welcome to Honduras. Muchas gracias. Es un placer estar con ustedes. And it's a pleasure to be here. And vamos a primero preguntar al Dr. Garay de una idea que él y yo tuvimos con Bobby Hunter at the Greater New York Dental Meeting. We're going to ask him about an idea that he, myself, and Bobby Hunter realized at the Greater New York Dental Meeting in 2022. So díganos un poco sobre lo que está pasando. Tell us what's going on.
Muy bien. Esta idea surge en una reunión en New York Dental Meeting, noviembre del año pasado.
This is an idea that started in the Greater New York Dental Meeting.
Estábamos en un desayuno de líderes.
In a breakfast that we had.
Y fue cuando tú hiciste la presentación y yo también me presenté como presidente, te acercaste y me dijiste que te interesaba traer el tema contra las drogas para Honduras a través de los dentistas.
So basically what happened is I had given a presentation. Oh, you can hold that. You can hold that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I gave a presentation with Bobby Hunter. He heard it. There were dentists from all Latin America there. And he and I spoke about, well, what can we do in Honduras with this drug education program, Drug Free World?
Y luego de ese encuentro en noviembre, fui invitado por nuestro querido amigo Ben a Naciones Unidas en Nueva York en febrero de este año.
And then afterwards, what happened is we held at the United Nations the Drug Free World International Conference, February 10th of this year.
En un foro donde participamos siempre sobre el tema contra las drogas. Y fue cuando firmamos un memorándum de entendimiento o un acuerdo con el Colegio de Dentistas para poder desarrollar esta actividad en Honduras.
And what happened is one thing led to the next from the UN, and we had a meeting where we actually signed an agreement with the College of the Honduran Dentists and Drug Free World America's chapter to deliver drug education to the youth of Honduras. Honduras being a country that Mario and Marcos have told me a lot about, 70% is below 30, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sí, el 70% de la población de Honduras es menor de 30 años. Es un país muy joven.
So basically, 70% of the Honduran population is very young, under 30 years of age. Y entonces yo creo que tú has recibido mucha ayuda del doctor Pinel, ¿no?
Así es. Y fue cuando surgió la idea en Nueva York, a través de un show deportivo con los Harlem Globetrotters, traer el mensaje contra las drogas, Globetrotter, Drugs Free World, Capítulo Las Américas y Colegio de Cirujanos Dentistas de Honduras. Es una realidad y hoy ya estamos aquí en Tegucigalpa, listos para mañana hacer la presentación y llevar el mensaje a toda la juventud de Honduras.
So basically what happened is the idea became a reality between the Globetrotters, Drug Free World, the Honduran dentists, and so here we are today. And now we have a lot to be thankful for to this man who's very humble. To my left, Dr. Mario Pinel. So Mario Pinel, tell us what's going to be happening, because you have organized unbelievable. Here you go. You got the ball. It's in your hands. Go ahead.
Okay.
What you organized here?
Estoy contento. You translate, right?
No problem.
No problem.
He's very happy.
You translate to Spanish, no? Pequeño. Ok, poquito.
Whatever I can't translate, Bobby will
sí.
translate.
Es que estoy feliz realmente, estoy muy contento. Conocí meses atrás a Dr. Ben y a mí no me gustan las historias, me gustan las realidades, me gusta la acción.
Okay. So basically he said he was very happy when he met me a few months ago, and that he's very happy not with a lot of talking in history, but with action.
Muy pocas personas en el mundo, no en Honduras, no en Latinoamérica, destinan de su tiempo para pensar en los demás, pensar en la juventud.
Not very many people in our world, unfortunately, are thinking of the world, of humanity, or the youth.
Y es algo que en lo personal me apasiona. No solamente podemos pensar en las clínicas dentales, en la cuenta bancaria de cualquiera de nosotros, en el trabajo que es necesario, y a través de mis padres aprendí que hay que pensar en los demás.
And basically, something that he's very exhilarated and enthusiastic about is youth, guiding, helping, protecting youth. We can't just think about our bank accounts, our offices, our investments, and he wants to give honor to his parents, because his parents showed him that there's more to life than just monetary gains. There's also a whole community, a world to change.
Tengo un buen amigo que es Dr. Garay, como un hermano para mí.
He has a great friend, Dr. Garay, who's like a brother to him.
Aunque él tiene muchísimos años más que yo.
Although, you know, we don't want, he's maybe a little older, maybe a little younger. It's something up to dispute, but we'll go forward. Mr. Hunter, I think we'll investigate this a little bit while we're talking and see the truth of this. Go ahead.
Pero nos presentó al doctor Fialkoff y hemos hecho una bonita amistad.
And, you know, and what's happened is the four of us have made a really nice accord, relationship.
Y cuando en este mundo se juntan personas con el mismo corazón, con el mismo deseo de servir, yo creo que las cosas suceden.
And when you have people with the same heart, the same goal, integrity, things happen.
Hago esta introducción porque es lo que nos tiene aquí y lo que destinamos aparte de nuestro tiempo, de que hoy estemos en Tegucigalpa, Honduras, de que el balón esté listo para rodar y que el mensaje de Bobby y de todos los jugadores esté listo para mandar a la juventud de Honduras.
And because of that humanity, because of the need to do something in our world and in Honduras, that's why we're here, and we want to get this ball rolling in Honduras and pass it over to some other people. So Bobby Hunter, with the ball in your hands now.
Y va a ser lindo poder jugar mañana en pocas horas con Bobby. Es un honor para nosotros jugar con Bobby, sí.
And so basically,
yeah, okay. So
what he was saying, it's a great honor to play with someone with such a distinguished basketball background, Bobby Hunter. So, Mr. Hunter, go ahead. You tell us about
I think that was really great what you said, but playing here years with the Latinos, I know that we're going to have to beat them. And that's the whole thing that we came here for, to beat them up and pull their teeth.
Well, this is getting exciting now.
You know, but it's going to be a great game tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I didn't realize that saying the National Dental Program and the International Dentists and comparing them to helping with drugs, what it would do. And people listen in a different manner when you say that. And what Drug Free World has done is very surprising.
But, Bobby, let me do something to translate in Spanish now for the other people. So lo que el señor Hunter quiso decir es que era interesante para él porque empezamos con una idea dental y la dental se integró con algo de las drogas y ahora estamos aquí y él se está dando cuenta, perdón.
Policías,
Y la
dentistas,
policía,
dentistas,
dentista,
Globetrotters,
sí,
contra las drogas.
Globetrotters, todo unificado.
Es toda la sociedad civil, las familias en un país como Honduras, en el corazón de Centroamérica, unidos, que inició por dentistas, que están los Globetrotters, que Bobby los llama y los junta y los reúne, y todos estamos aquí para unir la familia hondureña a que no caminen por las drogas.
Exactly. So basically, a unification of the Harlem Globetrotters, the dental societies, the national police, the drug-free world, all together to make sure that the Honduran youth go up forward as the whole country will.
And what this has done, when he say total, it means even more than that, because I saw where Drug Free World has brought the International and the National Dental Association into this fight, not only against drug, but for peace for the world. So then all of a sudden, you have the World Conference of Mayors. You have the FOPAO, which is the International Peace and Love. And then you have the Pan-African unit for group coming in. So you have a lot of groups that are coming in together to fight for world peace. And fighting for world peace will eventually stop the drug abuse. So I didn't realize the power of Drug Free World in which they have. And one of the things that Drug Free World is doing is bringing all of those organizations to New Orleans next year on August 1st to the 4th to fight for international peace and love and for the lack of drugs in community, but most of all, for us to be together on one plate, looking in the direction of world peace.
And lo que Bobby dice es que el mundo libre de drogas y su organización ha ayudado a traer y poner juntos muchas otras como la Fundación de Paz y Amor en el Mundo por el Dr. Hong, a donde él y yo estuvimos anoche ahí con muchos líderes del mundo, también otras organizaciones de Climate Change que tiene el Dr. Pinel, y él va a hablar de eso en un momentico, de Climate Change, porque obviamente, ¿cómo vamos a estar sanos? ¿Cómo vamos a estar felices si estamos enfermos, tóxicos y no sanos? Es imposible. Entonces el doctor Hunter, sí es un doctor del básquetbol de la vida, el Bobby Hunter, el doctor del básquetbol y de la vida, dijo que es algo que está pasando y expandiendo en el mundo. So, you know, Bobby, I wanted to say something. It's interesting because 3 years ago, we're talking about dental program, drug education, and getting out to the peoples. And here we are now, a few years later. And it's happening.
You know, 3 years ago, we were approaching. 3 years ago, we were approaching it with the police in New York in re-educating them on how to approach the community.
Absolutely. So now, lo que quiero hacer ahora, what I want to do now, is quiero dar un chance, I want to give a little chance to Dr. Pinel to tell you about another component because, you know, we have the drug education. We have the sports and basketball. We have the dental profession, which is taking on a role, which we already are counselors to the people, right? And now we're going to take it to the community. We're not going to just be doctors of the mouths. We're going to make the community smile. We're going to make the world smile. And we want to help with the rest of the people. But now, how are we going to have this be healthy? We have the National Police giving security. We have the government. But who's going to take care of the water that we're drinking? Who's going to take care of the air that we're breathing? So now we come to the question. Ahora estamos en la pregunta para el doctor Pinel. ¿Cómo podemos asegurar? How can we assure que podemos estar sanos de salud y de la mente con el climate change?
Definitivamente, mi querido doctor Ben, tenemos que cuidar donde vivimos. Y donde vivimos no es en tu casa, no es en la mía. De tu casa te puedes mudar, pero del planeta no. Y tenemos que cuidar nuestros recursos, la tierra común, la casa común, el agua, la comunidad, la salud y todo lo que conlleva una realidad que se llama climate change. Pasamos la pandemia de COVID, pero la más grande pandemia es climate change. Y ahí hay muchísimas personas que también atendemos el tema y queremos unirlo también a este tema de Drug Free World. Vamos a tener saludable el ambiente, pero vamos a tener también saludable a las personas, especialmente a la juventud.
Es así, es muy importante. So what he is saying is, how can we have a world that's going to go forward if our world is dying? You know, sometimes we overlook. Vamos a nada más hablar de los árboles. Let's just look at the trees. Están vivos y nos dan oxígeno. ¿Cómo vamos a vivir si no tenemos oxígeno?
Y el agua. De ahí tenemos el agua también. Yo pregunto a través de esta televisión, ¿quién vive sin agua? Y el agua tenemos que tener y plantar los árboles, las raíces, las cuencas hidrográficas, para también tener los alimentos, el suelo, el alimento, muchos lugares con hambruna en muchos países en Latinoamérica, incluido problemas en Honduras, que exportamos hacia los Estados Unidos, hacia Europa. Esa es parte de la salud con la buena comida, y si no cuidamos el suelo, los árboles, los frutos y el agua para riego, entonces estamos perdiendo la alimentación.
Absolutamente. Y entonces lo que tenemos, what Dr. Pinel is bringing out to us is, we have the trees, they need water. And then with the water, the trees give us fruits, give us vegetables, give us other substance, which then the animals have, which we also need. And so what happens is we have this whole circle of life. But what's going to happen if we don't have that? We can't continue. So this actually gets over to something now with Mr. Hunter that he's mentioned before, because I see that with going to these other nations, that's something that's been concerning you. Is that true?
Yes, and it's been the influx of drugs throughout communities, and it's being done in a manner where this is World War III, and someone is attacking us. And the only way that we are able to defend ourselves is to be together. And Drug Free World has worked in bringing everything together.
Entonces, lo que él dice es, con este flagelo de las drogas, esta crisis de las drogas, ¿cómo vamos a poder seguir? Porque la razón que tenemos el problema es que la gente no está consciente de lo que está pasando, y es importante de quitar ese demonio del mundo. Y entonces me llega una pregunta al doctor Garay, porque yo creo que tú también. Dale la bola, muchas gracias. You guys want to assist?
Give me the pass.
Okay. ¿Cómo tú tienes tiempo? How do you have the time? Yo creo que tú no duermes. I don't think you sleep. So tell us a little bit about what we've been talking about.
Ok. Bueno, tenemos toda la disposición como persona, como cirujano dentista, como presidente del colegio, de salir de las 4 paredes del consultorio.
We have an intention, aside from being dentists, that we've got to go out of the 4 walls of the office.
Yes. Y hacer esta proyección hacia la comunidad, buscar el desarrollo del mismo y brindar esta oportunidad para llevar el mensaje a nuestros jóvenes sobre este gran flagelo que son las drogas.
And so basically we take charge, we move forward, and we actually do the education and start handling this crisis that's destroying the youth of our world.
Y no tengo la más mínima duda que mañana vamos a tocar la conciencia y el corazón de alguien en ese gimnasio. Vamos a rescatar vidas mañana. Eso es lo importante.
It's something very beautiful he just said that I want to say with a little bit different intonation and feeling. Tomorrow, in that arena, we're going to be touching the lives of many people and things will be changing.
A mí cuando escucho al doctor Garay, give it a ball, man, se me eriza la piel, porque no solo es mañana, tú vas a estar viendo a través de la televisión y de este canal potente, porque aquí rápidamente llegamos a miles de personas.
Es así.
A miles de personas que nos están viendo, y no por nosotros, sino porque es un mensaje. Tú tienes hijos, nosotros tenemos hijos, tenemos familia que hay que cuidar. Y en Honduras,
And this is a message that's reaching instantaneously millions of people. And look at yourself in the mirror. You have kids, you have sons, daughters. And tomorrow we're going to be changing this. Go ahead.
y no importa tu condición económica,
Your economic condition is superfluous.
porque en cualquier lugar, en escuela, en el colegio, en las calles y con amigos, puede haber una inducción de un mal mensaje y de que la droga los atrape.
Because it doesn't matter where or how, you can have the problem that someone will come in with a wrong message and trap these young people.
Y lo que en Honduras, a través del doctor Ben y los Globetrotter con Bobby, solamente estamos encendiendo la llama. Es el ápice, es el comienzo en todo nuestro país.
And what's happening in Honduras, you have with Bobby Hunter, Globetrotter, and his Trotter group that he's bringing. You have with us, Drug-Free World, who are here. You have with Dr. Garay, with all the dentists in the country, and the National Police, the Ministry of Security.
Y todos los sectores vamos a poder visitar el doctor Garay con la policía, la gente de la Embajada de Estados Unidos también, cooperantes, y todos los hondureños visitar escuelas, colegios públicos y privados y llegar donde ellos y tocarlos, hablarles, que sientan esta realidad para que se puedan contagiar en una primer semana de un proyecto que estará constante en nuestro país.
And together, what we're going to be doing is going to the schools, the universities, the organizations, the foundations, and we'll be starting tomorrow. And we'll be dealing with the American Embassy, who has such a vital role to play because they show a leadership role of what they see we need in our world. It's such a wonderful thing we'll be doing tomorrow because together with the U.S. Embassy, with these leaders of the Honduran government, with the Honduran people, that will be actually giving out a message to the world.
Y yo puedo creer que no solamente en el gimnasio,
Not only in the gymnasium,
en sus casas a través de la televisión, no solamente en Honduras, en cualquier país del mundo que nos están
not
viendo,
just in your houses, not just on your television sets, in any country in the world.
con este ejemplo de muchos deportistas y de todos los
With
involucrados,
this example of what you see around you right here on this station, on this show,
algo va a suceder en las familias para que digan no a las drogas. Algo va a suceder.
eso es difícil.
Algo. Something
I'm going to
happened.
have to try and do this energy level.
Translate Alco again.
I will try to do this. I did two. Something is going to happen because it has to happen. And you know what? I want to share this with Bobby. You tell him also, Bobby.
Yeah, it's happening. It's going to happen, but with you. And it's one thing that they've all been saying in a certain manner. There's no banks in heaven. So we have things that we're looking at here on earth that mean nothing. What means nothing is the health, the production of our people and our youth. That's what's important, and that's what we need to look at. And one of the most important things is dentists are different than any other animal I know. The relationship they have with their patients is something that we need to take advantage of in the communication of the world.
Y yo te translate.
What Bobby Hunter said is that, yes, this is going to be going on. and that he's been very
In Spanish.
impressed. Perdón. Okay. Rewind.
Okay.
There we go.
No banks in heaven.
Okay.
No hay ningunos bancos en el cielo y tenemos que actuar aquí cuando estamos vivos, que no se puede esperar, que lo tenemos que hacer y que es muy necesario y que lo que vemos aquí enfrente de ustedes es la solución.
Y aquí estamos 4 personas. Nos falta uno para el basketball team, you know.
We almost have a squad of basketball here. We're missing one.
Pero
He can't play.
he can play. No. He's the coach or
No, my
something
hand-
or
my hand's okay
nothing.
You what?
My hand's okay now.
You're right.
Tenemos que sonreír porque los resultados van a ser grandes. Ya están siendo grandes. Decía que somos 4, no basketball player, 4 personas que estamos dando un paso hacia el frente.
And so what we're doing here is we're doing something to move things forward. It's not just basketball, it's much more than basketball.
Pero detrás de nosotros, y las imágenes las están viendo ustedes y las van a seguir viendo a través de este canal, de lo que en Honduras está sucediendo con la venida de ellos. Go ahead.
What's happening is that what you see happening, what's happening all around us, in front, behind, the center, because of this man's actions.
Porque yo le pido a Jorge, a Buda, que nos tape a nosotros y que sigan viendo estas imágenes de lo que está sucediendo en un juego, en una visita, en un colegio, las familias reunidas, padres e hijos, en un gimnasio de básquetbol.
Because he wants, through what Jorge is doing with Canal America, alias Buda Rodriguez, that he gets this message out to all the families, so that what we're doing is we're uniting them all, which we're doing tomorrow at the arena, bringing families together with basketball, with drug education, with all our community leaders.
When we have our drug-free world basketball clinic, we're teaching communication and we're teaching how to play together. And it's one of the things that we want to bring to light, how to come together and how to communicate.
So, lo que tenemos que aprender es cómo unirnos, tener una colaboración y ponernos como un equipo para poder ir para adelante.
Yo públicamente tengo que dar gracias,
He publicly wants to give thanks
en primer lugar a Dios,
to God,
a mi amigo Dr. Garay,
to his friend Dr. Garay,
porque a través de él nos introdujo al Dr. Fialkoff,
because through Dr. Garay, he met me, Dr. Fialkoff,
igualmente a Dr. C,
and Dr. Z here, Robert Hunter.
porque a través de ellos destinar de su tiempo para venir y atender un país,
Because taking time from what we, each one of us are doing to help the world, to help this country,
en un tema de vida.
in a theme that has to do with life,
Mientras tengamos vida, tenemos que dar gracias.
while we really are alive.
Y es un país, a través de nosotros, doctor Garay, el ministro de Seguridad y su servidor, que queremos darle, Garay, gracias, doctor Ben.
And what he wants to do from his part, from the Ministry of Security, from Dr. Garay, and from really the people of Honduras, he wants to give thanks to me, Dr. Fialkoff, and to, next to me on the left, Robert Hunter.
Con la misma intención es como podemos conseguir que el mundo y la juventud esté libre de drogas.
And a simple translation of that, together we are, together we will, and it will happen.
Mucho bravo.
This show was sponsored by A Time for Truth Foundation Incorporated as a community service.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got. But the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your feet